fair and balanced.
Not available in all states.
Whoa, what do you have there?
It's a recent Irvy's frozen yogurt. We just had our robot make one.
A robot made your frozen yogurt?
Yes, the world's first fully interactive robot vending machine that serves 9 flavors of delicious yogurt with 6 amazing toppings. And it's available for an exclusive franchise opportunity.
How do I get my own recent Irvy's robots?
It's easy, but you better act now. Locations and machines are going fast. Just go to froyofranchising.com and enter promo code 3939. That's froyofranchising.com, promo code 3939.
A home burglary happens every 13 seconds. Ring Video Doorbell has been proven to stop burglaries before they happen by allowing you to see and speak to anyone at your door using your smartphone from anywhere. And now you can build a ring of security around your entire home, adding Ring's wireless weatherproof stick-up cam. With Ring, you'll know anytime anyone steps onto your property. For a limited time, listeners to this station get up to $150 off the Ring of Security kit. Go to ring.com/radio100. That's ring.com/radio100.
At a Senate hearing, Veterans Affairs Secretary Robert McDonald pushed for a bill that would allow the VA to hold employees accountable for misconduct.
The Commission, the VSOs, and VA are all in agreement on this. Congress must act or veterans will suffer. That's unacceptable to me, and I know that's unacceptable to you.
The Obama administration says portions of the legislation raise constitutional concerns. The ceasefire in Syria is holding, and that could lead to long-term peace in the region.
We've got a ways to go to see whether it will be implemented or not. But if it is, and it will mean that the suffering of the Syrian people is eased, it will mean that Russia gets on the right side of things in Syria and not on the wrong side, and that's good.
Defense Secretary Ash Carter. South Park begins its 20th season tonight.
It feels like 1992 was just yesterday. That was when Matt Stone and Trey Parker, 2 classmates at the University of Colorado, took a stack of construction paper, some scissors, and an old 8mm camera and pasted together a 5-minute stop-motion movie that would launch South Park.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny!
The show, featuring 4 roly-poly boys in a fictional town, was successful, even though it poked fun at every subject in person that the media obsessed about. They eventually collaborated on other projects, including a smash Broadway hit, The Book of Mormon, and a classic movie called Team America, World Police. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
A jury has been selected for the Bridgegate trial in New Jersey. 2 former aides of Governor Chris Christie are charged with deliberately causing traffic gridlock at the George Washington Bridge as part of a political vendetta. Opening statements are set for Monday in Newark. Christie isn't charged, but is sure to be mentioned during the trial. I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News Radio.
The Weather Bell is tolling a mixture of clouds and sunshine and warm today, high 85, because Jerry Fisher wants it to shower so desperately. I've thrown the chance of a shower in the forecast for this afternoon or this evening. They're mainly clear and cooler tonight, low 55 to 60. Sunny, pleasant tomorrow, the high around 75. Some sunshine on Friday, the high temperature around 70. Looks like it'll be up near 80 for the football game on Saturday. WeatherBell.com meteorologist Joe Bastardi for 9:70 a.m. WBLF, the Weather Voice of Center County.
Hey, Jared, it's that time.
Hey, friends, and a pleasant evening. Welcome to Lions Live on the Forever Lions Network, the only network built by the players for the fans. We are here broadcasting live in the Magnum Broadcasting Studios in State College here on a wonderful Wednesday football night here. Big Dude Stephen Davis, Yaacov Israel, the Grizz, Jimmy Kennedy, and Dan the Fan. My name's Skip Dreibelbis, and we're going to be talking some Penn State football here, giving a recap of the Pitt game, looking ahead to what's happening here for this week and what Penn State needs to do to take on Temple, and giving some comments about what's happening in college football and giving our picks here at the end. So quite a difficult loss here, but some positive signs we saw here from last week. And I just wanted to know who wanted to kick it off here this week and giving some thoughts about our loss to Pitt. Jimmy, do you want to give us a start in tonight with the some thoughts on the Pitt game?
Hey, for me, I think that I think the boys did a great job when they was out there. Don't get me wrong, they ended up taking the L, but I like how they held it together, and I like the fight. From my position, I think it's a lot of upside for the squad. If we don't have so many turnovers and so on, I think the guys will pull it off. So I'm looking forward to the guys playing, bigger games and so on and learning from their mistakes.
Well said. Well said. It was a tough loss. You know, we started out and, when anybody takes a ball and drives it 99 yards for a score in their first possession, it makes for a very frustrating and a difficult go for the rest of the game. And the defense didn't seem to want to find a way to adapt and overcome that run game of Pitt. And it, of course, made for some difficulty here for Penn State. And it almost seemed like a little bit not enough too late. You know, that was my 2 cents worth there. Yaacov, what are your thoughts?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Good. Pretty good. Yeah, good. Yeah, glad to be here. Couple of things I wanted to mention. I like how Kennedy mentioned last week about that run game, because I was actually really watching it now more so, that run defense, and I think that's definitely a concern. I also felt, Skip, you hit it on the money. That first quarter, Pitt had the ball for 10 minutes out of the first quarter. Penn State had the ball for 5 minutes. So, like you mentioned, got off to a little bit of a slow start. I thought Jimmy hit it nice with the turnovers as well. I think those are some growing pains we're dealing with right now. There is a lot of talent out there, not necessarily as much experience as the talent, but definitely a lot of talent, definitely a lot of potential. Looks like we're going uphill. I mean, we're going to keep climbing from here. So I'm looking forward to seeing improvements. But we really just don't have a whole lot of time to make adjustments and to grow up. We're kind of constantly getting thrown in the fire.
Very, very true. Very true. Hey, did Big Dude sign on yet tonight? Stefan, you on with us? We may be waiting for him to pick up yet, but I know we got Dan the Fan. Dan, welcome aboard. First time you got to be with us here this year, so glad.
Yeah. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy New Year, and it's been a while since I've seen Yaacov. I seen back in April. Just wanted to shout out real quick. I did the paternal walk. Ended up with the largest team for walk for Special Olympics, and came in second in donation.
Awesome.
Had Blair Thomas on my team, Ryan Kaiser, Brandon Smith, and even a girl from the 1981 women's field hockey team on my team. So I just want to thank everybody for doing that for me.
Awesome. Good cause. Yeah. Way to go, Dan.
Yes.
So now Dan the Fan, you are the fan. So that's why we get you on. Yeah, I know. That's why we get you on here, buddy. And tell me, did you make it out to the Pitt game?
I didn't make it out to the Pitt game. I was back staying in seeing a girl back up in Pocono Pines, and was sitting with her mom, who was 84 years old, and she was torn between her Yankees and the Penn State game, and she was allowing me to watch the Penn State game, and she had fun. And you should have seen an 84-year-old Japanese lady watching Penn State. It's fun.
I can only imagine.
She enjoyed it. It was fun.
I can only imagine, Dan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you got planned this year, Dan? As being the fan for this season, I guess we got some events coming up. I know I'm sure you'll be out there this weekend.
I'm going to be at the Temple game this weekend. I'm celebrating my good friend Ron Giona's birthday with Tracy, and I'm going to be celebrating there and seeing a bunch of people. And then I'll be at the Ohio State game, which I'm taking my girl to her first ever Penn State whiteout game. She's never been in Beaver Stadium, so she's going to experience that. So those are the only 2 games I plan on coming to this year.
Oh, wow.
Things for my life have changed over the past 8 months, but all for the good. So,
all right, Dan. You're starting to slip on us here, not being the fan. We may have to.
I'm not slipping. Okay. I'm not slipping anywhere. I talked to Yaacov the other day. No, it's all good. I took a job and I moved back home to the Wilkes-Barre area, staying with my mom and stuff like that. It's a long story.
Hey, well, that's okay.
Having a good time.
Taking care of families, family first, man.
Yes.
That's all good, buddy. It's all good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all good, buddy, man. Same here, taking care of my mom. She's ill and stuff. So, Nothing more important to take care of family, buddy. So I was just joking with you on that, being about
I know.
only
I
getting down here.
understand.
But we look forward to seeing you when you get here. So,
yes, I'll hunt you down, Skip.
No, man. That's not gonna work.
so Dan, what are you thinking here with this Pitt game?
The Pitt game, when I was watching it with her mom, it was a good game. I got a little disappointed in the first quarter, but seeing the end, kind of just like I'm not sure. I think they should have ran that ball, but that's just me to get the first down.
You know, I wasn't. When I saw that part, I wasn't really stressing the last second, interception. I think, like I said, I look at the facts and the stats. You know, we lost 42-39, and we had 4 turnovers. We had 3 fumbles and an interception. You know, so when you look at that in a hostile environment with a team that actually are in-state rival and everything else, so on, the stuff that's on the line based off recruiting and everything else and so on, and know that basically we shot ourselves in the foot. I know Coach Franklin and those guys are going to be making changes this week so we can get better.
Right.
For me, I felt like it was the big lights, it was the big stage, it was the rival. We was going in there. So for me, I know Pittsburgh might not be as talented as a Michigan or Ohio State and so on, but they came to play, and obviously they got the win and everything else and so on. What I love about what Penn State did was they didn't give up. They stuck together and they made it a good one. I mean, if we don't have an interception in the end, and that's a touchdown, we win that game. That's a well-fought game. That's a great comeback, a great battle, and everything else and so on. Considering we have, because I'm not a hard guy when it comes to the defensive line and so on. I didn't play my perfect games when I was out there and everything else. We have a bunch of young guys that's learning, and it's not for me. Like, no one on this phone picked Penn State to win the national championship this year, or to win the Big Ten this year. You understand? Like, we know the situation that we're in, and I think we can have a lot of guys out there gaining experience and so on, a lot of young defensive linemen and so on who need to tweak things here and there and so on. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys really make changes and just compete. Because of that game, I know I'm jumping ahead of it right now. Because of that game, I was pretty sure now, especially with what happened in the past with losing to Temple, I'm pretty sure that Penn State's going to come out there and get this win this week. If they play like they played in the second half for the Pittsburgh game, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, rather confident of that too, Jimmy. I was the one keeping it real. I was hoping I'd have been wrong, but I kind of figure we get our first loss here. And my big concern is, again, we don't have the type of offense where we're controlling the ball, and the time of possession makes a big difference when you have your defense on the field too long. It makes for a long game, and it's easier to give up points. I think we need to run the ball and keep that ground game going and possession of the ball. I mean, 35 minutes is what Pitt had the ball for, and if it wasn't for that comeback towards the end, I think we just adapted too late to what Pitt was doing offensively to shut them down. And on the offense side, again, we just kind of we had to adapt, and it was kind of just too late. And I think it's kind of combination of coaching and execution. Kind of a combination between the two.
And I agree with that. You got to understand that Coach Franklin knows his strengths and his weakness. So far, of his team. So far, he has shown me in the last 2 games that he has made great halftime adjustments to keep us in it.
Yes.
He has shown that so far.
Yes, absolutely.
So what I like about that.
Yeah.
What happens is going into the game, you can't make those adjustments until halftime.
Right.
You can make small adjustments and so on, but so far coming out of the halftime, Penn State in both games has played well during the second half.
I agree. I agree, and I think that is a sign of a good coach, of being able to make those adjustments like that. Some interesting things that were brought up. We pick up on the idea of snap cadences. Going from sound and clapping and Pitt clapping as well, and I think the Pitt coach made a good point that the defense can adjust their defense by clapping sounds too. Whatever happened to the idea of just barking out a call and on sound or a motion or some other type of signal. But I think when that's just really trying to, unless you're calling out the same words that the quarterback are, I think it's going to be hard to get a call for trying to throw off a snap count.
Yeah, see, I think they have an argument because if they are going out there, emulating the snap count is just what it is. I mean, no one said that we had to go out there and we had to say set hut.
Right.
That's not a rule. You understand? So we can go no huddle, we can go on a foot, we can go on a hand and everything else. We can go on movement, we can go on silent, we can go on, just on the center.
Right.
You understand? When the center's ready, we can do those things. When it comes to the game, if we say, all right, we're going on the second clap because it's a loud stadium, because they're fine, whatever, and we say we're going to go off the quarterback on second snap of the quarterback, and now you got their linebackers out there snapping, clapping the ball, and everything else, they're still breaking the rule by emulating the snap. So I think Penn State really have an argument here. It's not like I said. It's not like they're out there going hut hut hut. If you go out there and the defensive line scream roof 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 or something like that, they're still going to get a call.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they didn't say hut, they're still going to get that call. So I just think they have to be smart. We have to understand why they was doing the clap cadence and so on. But when it's all said and done, Pittsburgh was breaking the rules when it came to that. But they played favoritism when it comes to those guys being in their home turf.
Yeah.
Where they have Big Ten refs and everything else and so on. So they're not gonna get all those calls. Maybe they got one or two, but it happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think it was enough to where it was gonna cause us the game anyway.
No, and Penn State adapted right away. I mean, we adjusted as we needed. An interesting thing too, Pitt came out with a completely, almost totally different offense from what they ran the week before, and they planned it that way. They really wanted to throw us off. But Penn State again, halftime adjustment, and we were there. We're in the game.
Think about this. We're talking about snaps and everything else and so on, but we're not talking about the fact that Penn State had 4 turnovers.
That'll kill you.
Turnovers.
Yep, it'll kill you. Yep.
4 turnovers and lost by 3. And we could sit over there and say, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Penn State still. Our guys is young. They're still learning. Like I said, you have to understand that Coach Franklin and his staff, when they go out there, they know our strengths and weaknesses. So you have to go and see how our young guys, you got to keep in mind, this is our quarterback's second game. Right. You got to see how they respond. You got to see how Trace and those guys are going to do out there. You might be hesitant to do something, but you see maybe this play was a little bit successful, so now you can add that play that y'all been practicing all week. But you was unsure of because you didn't know how he'll handle pressure or how they'll blitz him or how they'll cover him and so on. So I like the fact that we made strides. I'm not going to be the hard one on this team because I'm a player. I'm a former Nittany Lion, obviously, and I know what it's like to go out there with some guys that's learning on the job with.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Yaacov, what do you think about any adjustments that need to be made here for this upcoming game with Temple?
I think that's a key thing. I just think we had some turnovers we talked about. It just seemed like we were just sometimes it just seems we were sometimes a step behind. And I feel like that might just be maybe we were just reacting to things. I just think we just need time. I think we just need time to improve because it looks like there's a lot of potential everywhere, but we're just trying to figure out how to make it win. Because we keep talking about there's talent here, there's this. So now it's just a matter of, okay, the talent's there, so now we just got to figure out how to make it work. And I just think it's just going to take time. And like I was saying earlier, I think it's just tough because we don't really have time to really develop. We have to get ready immediately. All of those mistakes that they just made, they have to fix all of those now, immediately. Everything, and that's tough. A guy that's just started 2 starts in his career, So, I just think we just got to keep him, we're improving and, we're just going to keep getting better And, I'm just looking forward to that time where we just can put it all together and dominate. So.
Sure. Well,
See, let me jump in here, Skip. From my position, I think Pittsburgh had a lot of motivation behind them too. Not only were they at home, not only was they a rival, you have Connor coming back from beating cancer and so on. You had him have a solid game the game before Penn State and so on. He played well, got back on the board and so on, and his confidence is up. You now have a team that's gelling together and so on. What are they, 2-0 now? So they have a lot that's riding with them. So it was like going out there, let's do it for Connor. Connor's out there, he's playing well, he's running well and so on. It was just like the guys hyped up, I just think they had a lot behind them. And given all that, for our boys to have a chance to win, to win and overcome that, I'm really excited on what the future is. Like I was tweeting about it and I was saying, I just can't believe that. At first it was a great game. And I got excited because prior to that game, I didn't know if I would pick Penn State versus Temple. I mean, obviously they've done, like, for me, I don't see Penn State getting blown out versus a Michigan or versus Ohio State and stuff now. I see it being a scrappy situation now. I think we need to be smart because, we're sitting on the sideline now. We're spectators now.
Yeah.
So we can say all we want to that, hey, they got to run the ball more and so on, but Barkley's our main threat.
It is.
So they put 8 in the box and so on. We got to have a couple of guys make some big catches so they can back up.
That's right. That's right.
Other than that, Pittsburgh came out and they because you got to understand what the situation is. Let's put everything on Trace, McSorley, and let's make him beat us. He's a sophomore. Let's make this young quarterback beat us. We already know what Barkley can do. Let's stop him and let's make the QB beat us. That's the situation. And then in the end, they capitalized on it and they got the interception. You understand? That's what most teams are going to try to do to us. And if they don't, then guess what? Barkley's going to have a great day. He still did well out there, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this is a character builder for sure. And I don't want to. We won't give away where we're picking yet. We'll do that here at the end. Yeah. But I agree with what you said, Jimmy. I think it was a huge confidence builder. It's a good way to give some hints.
And I think Coach Franklin needs to. He's gonna. So far, our left tackle has struggled the last 2 games. Big dude's not on the line to talk about it. The last 2 games, he gave up big sacks.
Yeah.
Caused us to lose yards and everything else and so on. It seems like he can't play without a help or a chip block and so on. That could be, and I don't want to knock the guy because he could actually be working on becoming a better pass blocker. You understand? But if that's the case, he might be great on the run. Like, we don't talk about him when Barkley is running over the left side and jumping around and everything else. We talk about him when a big play happened and, he's struggling and so on. We had a guy, Big Gus Felder. Gus was a great run block guy, but he wasn't the best pass blocker. Was he bad? No. Out of if I had to give him a ranking, I'll say about a C+. On a great day, he's about a B minus. But when it's all said and done, when it came to run blocking, he put his heart and soul into it. He's a high B+ and A minus.
Sure.
So we gotta give it time, and coach gotta make some adjustments to make sure that he's helping that left tackle out, so we don't get our young quarterback hurt.
Sure. Now, thinking back to your time at Penn State, Yaacov and Jimmy, is there a particular time that you remember coming off a tough, frustrating rivalry loss, and what the next week of practice was like?
Oh yeah, I remember. It was one season where we were because we had some ups and downs when I was there, and it was a down year, and I think we might have lost the game before the bye week, and I believe during that bye week we had maybe like a scrimmage or 2. It was like no mercy on the bye week. It was just like all out, ones on ones, like all week. We were thinking like we were going to get to rest, you know, but it was like, so yeah, I definitely know that I'll never forget that. So I definitely say, you know, you just gotta step your game up after the loss. You know, you gotta step your game up.
Well, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I think from my position, what I will always remember is how our guys responded after. Not only did we lose when we went to Ohio State, but we actually all witnessed, you know, Adam Talaferro become paralyzed for a little bit and stuff. And, you know, with that tackle that he made and stuff. And I watched the guys' spirit drop. And while we was going through practice, it was like guys trying to pick each other up and so on. And it was about making sure that we can do things the Penn State way and still build and still go on, because it was an eye opener for most of us. A lot of us never experienced a player getting hurt in front of us, and it made even myself look and say, "Whoa, hold up! What happened if he can't walk again? What happened if that happens to me? What happened if it was this? Hold up, what am I doing here?" And so on. It was a lot of guys had questions about that, but we all stuck together. We all, you know, kept encouraging Adam and so on. But during those tough times, we had to make sure that we held it together and keep the focus on football. You know, just like I'm sure when those guys went through the sanctions and the different things, and everyone was going to court and all that stuff that we had to go through in the past, I'm sure it was hard to keep a focus out there. You know, it was a time when you was proud to say you were a Penn Stater, and during those dark days you hung your head and you were like, "Oh my God, I don't know what." Oh, people, your family, your friends calling and saying, "Hey, oh, what's up? What's going on with your school? What's going on?" You know, making stupid jokes and stuff to you. So I just look, like I said, I think right now the guys shouldn't have their head hung. I'm sure this week in practice, I'm sure in the corrections and stuff, I've seen a couple of clips and stuff on how hard the guys is going, because I believe that they have this fire now. I think that game was necessary to see, to have these guys just get that little extra confidence that they need, because they're so young that they need this confidence. You know, so I'm excited for this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great season. A lot of challenges, but I think it's going to, at the end of the day, make everybody better. Hey, some thoughts and comments here. What about this past week here in the Big Ten? Any surprises to anybody?
We're just talking about what's the name? So, North Carolina.
Yeah. Hey, big dude's the only one that picked that one. Yeah, he's the one that picked that win there and I'll tell you, one that surprised me was Illinois State over Northwestern. That was a real surprise to me. A 2-point game, 9-7. That one really kind of threw me off there, but the rest of them, we kind of went the way as we picked. But for North Carolina to beat Illinois 48-23, to me that seemed like a pretty substantial win for the Tar Heels over the Fighting Illini. I just didn't suspect that at all. Didn't see it coming.
You know, I didn't see that coming more because of the hype that was behind Lovey. I thought Lovey would be more prepared than what he was in that game. You know, so to see that, I was kind of shocked too. I was like, wow, but North Carolina, like Big Dude said, you know, they come to play ball every time.
No doubt.
So I mean, they went out there and they had a great game. So
they definitely did. They definitely did. Yeah, those are the two that kind of threw me off for that week. But so far picks have been pretty good. And Big Dude's up on everybody there from that one. Last week.
And given Lovey as a defensive guy, I just never thought. Like, don't get me wrong. I think if North Carolina won like Pittsburgh won, last second interception, 3 to 6 points and so on, then I will understand. But Lovey got blown out, man. 48-23. Really? Oh man,
that's a tough loss.
Yeah,
that's a character builder there for the Illini for sure. Any other games that kind of were surprised by past weekend?
I thought I didn't think Illinois State was going to pull off the Northwestern one.
Yeah, that really threw me off.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, and it was a close game. It's only that's a touchdown and
yeah, what? Yeah, 9-7.
Yeah, just a surprise. Interesting how that one played out. So we'll be getting our picks here a little bit later. Now, in other college football action outside the Big Ten, or any other games that stood out in your mind this past week?
No, I guess what stood out to me. Because me, I was giving Temple. I was giving Clemson a lot of respect. To see how tight that game was, I actually thought they was going to lose that game. Did you see that game this weekend? What was they playing? Troy or something this weekend?
Yeah. It was. I think it was Troy. It was actually this week they take on South Carolina. So they had a big game in front of them. So but it was Troy, and it was 24-30. So that was kind of a surprise, but you never know. Maybe it was just they were down. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe I was thinking maybe I can't say that it was down. I know they had a tough game before that 1-0, but it was Troy, and Troy had to lead for a little bit. And like you said, they only won by 6 points, and Clemson's ranked number 5.
Right. Kind of a surprise there. Hey, I think Big Dude's with us. Stefan, glad you could join us tonight, buddy.
Yeah, glad to be on.
Awesome. Well, we've kind of spoke our 2 cents worth about Pitt. We've been actually anxiously waiting to hear yours. So please give us a rundown of some of your thoughts.
Well, real quick. I know it's the quickest hour in college football.
It is.
Well, overall, and at the end, second half especially, outstanding effort. Obviously, we got down too fast. Obviously, as Jimmy did predict, there are some issues on the defensive line, and very big ones, to give up 227 yards rushing in the first half. The good news, of course, was the battle back, the chance to win, and all those other things. It was an exciting game to watch, and I'm looking forward to see where we go this week. And I'm sure, as many of us do understand, those expectations are high, but we have to still get better. And I think that we did show a lot of resiliency. To me, that's a big characteristic that shows that we'll probably win some games that folks don't think we can win. So as long as we fix out what we got to fix, I am very concerned. And again, I don't want to talk about too much and too specific, but the left side of the offensive line at times struggles very badly. And other than that, I hope we get better. I hope everybody I think what the coaches have to do this week, I think the only thing I saw, we just have to work to make the game simpler is what I saw. I think when everybody just played, made it simple, I think things went good. Barkley, come on, man. 5 TDs, dominant performance by him, even with some issues up front. So, and on defense, our D-line's got to come on. Let's go. Let's do it consistent. Let's do what we have to do. And that's it. So, all ready for this week. I love what McSorley did. I hope Deshaun Hamilton is over. The one pass that could have ended the game. And, but you know what? There's a number of things that should have just never come down to that. We all learned that in football.
Exactly.
We can always pick different teams. So, I'm done with that, ready to move ahead to Temple.
Well, I'm with that. One last comment, if I can, because we've left this one out. Big league punting from Penn State. I'm telling you.
Oh, my goodness.
That's NFL quality punting.
Well, Skip, for you to say that, it was.
No, I'm just saying. He crushed it. He crushed it. That's what you want from a punter. We've been missing that. And I'll tell you, we can be thankful, especially this season where we're going to struggle. We can be thankful we got somebody back there now who can crush it. So great job. Great job on that.
But here's what I want to say that Joe always told us. One of the things I think that's going to get us over the top on some of the games, when some of the ones again, we still almost won a game and that we weren't supposed to win after being down 28-7, as many people would say. He would always say that there are going to be games that are going to be decided by the kicking game. Do not underestimate the kicking game. He always said that.
Yep, he always did. Yes, defense, special teams, and offense is the way it went. And Blake Gilkin there, racked up 233 yards, averaging 46.6, which is huge, along a 69. Man, I'll tell you, he's crushing it. And remember, I said before at the beginning of the season, our first show, I said, man, we got a punter. And we sure do. I'm so glad to see he's doing that well. So, yeah, I'll wrap up my comments on that one, but I wanted to mention that. And good job by Tyler Davis, too. You know, he hasn't missed anything. He's 4 for 4. What more can you ask from a guy? You know, he's doing what he has to do. Let's go. Hope that kicking game kicks in. Let's see. Wouldn't it be great for those guys to help pull off a win against a big upset against Ohio State or somebody like that? Let's hope for something like that this year.
Right, definitely. Well, let's take it one game at a time, though. Like I said, let's get this whole thing together with Temple. You know, to me, that's a rivalry game that kind of created itself. And I think we want to see if they can start off with the pride they had in the second half. I think that was the Penn State pride we were looking for, and I'm hoping that they do that.
And we complimented you too, big dude. You weren't on yet, but North Carolina, you picked that one well.
How about that?
You were right on.
How about that? I think I picked the what was the other game that I picked? The Purdue game.
How did you picked Cincy. You did. Hey, you're kicking butt taking names, buddy. You're 2 up on us all out with those 2. Yes, you did a great job. Cincy did great on that one, 38-20.
Yeah. I actually didn't think it was going to be all that.
You picked it well, though. But I picked it up the cheesy way. I picked Penn State to lose, though I didn't want to see it happen. I knew it was gonna. So I really don't count that one. I don't think that one should count, but. But I got the sheet here, guys. I got it printed out here, so we'll fill it out. We'll keep track each week, and let's say the person with the worst score has to buy everybody a sub. How do we do that last year, Stefan? Sub.
Yeah, I think you still owe me a sub, Skip.
I probably do.
Yeah.
Well, you only come up to 2 games, so you have to catch me when you get in there, Dan. I'll get you your sub. So.
He wants delivery.
I'm not running up to Wilkes-Barre for that.
We ain't talking about DiGiorno. We want some delivery.
Yeah, and I think.
Oh wow! That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah, Stefan wants the Penn State sub shop, so when he gets back in town here, I'll make sure I hook him up from last year's loss on that one for me. So we'll do that. That'll be good.
Actually, you did give me that. What was that big burger, man? I think we put our names on the wall with
that's right. Yeah, you got the pounder.
So you already took care of that. You took care of that already.
That's right. I did. Yeah, I got your name on the wall. You're famous. He pounded down the pounder. They have a local restaurant here.
Now he's gonna say I did.
I don't know. My name's on the wall. I think like twice already. So I've done it.
Let's make it 3 times, bro. Because you're right there with me.
Yeah, I did it with you. So
that's all right.
All right, now Jimmy comes into town and Yaacov next time. We'll get those guys to take it on. I'm sure they can.
Nah, man. I'm trying to say a grizzly bear, not a care bear. Oh no.
That's great.
You want to have me on the food wall?
Oh, there you go. Wow. Well, we got about 20 minutes left here, guys, in the fast sour college football. What's a hot topic you want to knock in here for this these last half of the show here?
Well, I think that. Go ahead, Jimmy. You go. Go ahead. No, I was trying to figure out. I guess we want to keep it. That's my only question was we keep it NCAA, right? NCAA football.
Well, we can throw some NFL in there.
No, but I was thinking NCAA. I just am very, very concerned. I don't know how it's been. I just need more guidance on this targeting call and how it's affecting college football. I mean, I think that there's a way to be disciplined in tackles, but then there's a way to take over a football game when you need to, and then so I think some of that is taken away because people are afraid of getting thrown out of a football game.
Yeah.
And I'm really concerned about that.
Yeah, I think it's a legitimate topic there, and I think something needs to be adjusted with it for sure. But again, look how much time they're taking with it out of the game too. Sending it back through that and then trying to determine, they're trying to determine intent. And how fast does a play take place? I mean, you're talking fractions of a second for somebody to try to adjust They could already have launched themselves at somebody to try to dive to make a tackle, and all of a sudden the guy turns into him in the wrong way, and next thing you know, he's tossed out of a game.
Right.
You know, and somebody has to start trying to I think that my personal opinion is I think they need to look at intent. If there's actual intent for somebody to try to intentionally lower your head into to somebody else's head, okay, that's one thing. But if it's not intentional and you're trying to make a good tackle and the guy turns the wrong way, or maybe he's hit by somebody else and then he hits you, I don't think you can go there. I just don't think you should go there.
As a defensive player, here's what I want to say. It's never intentional. It's never intentional. It hurts you. Helmet to helmet hurts you just as much as it hurts the offensive player. So when you go out there, it's always the intention to dislodge the ball. You understand?
Right.
I mean, people who respect the game and love the game, like as soon as you guys are talking about this and about most of the time the safeties are calling and coming up on a big hit and so on, but as soon as I hear about the targeting, the first thought comes to mind is guys like, Steve Atwater, Ronnie Lott, those guys who, obviously Hall of Fame, safeties and so on. Those guys came and they came to hit. I know it's a different time because we're talking about the concussion stuff and they're trying to protect people and protect players and so on. But they have to do it to where the game is still fun. And I know football is an offensive game. NFL, they turned into an offensive league, and it's the same thing with college now. They turned into an offensive game. But how else are you supposed to hit a guy? Because no one's going in saying, hey, let me hit him helmet to helmet.
Right.
It never happened.
Right. Nobody wants to wind up exactly, Jimmy. Nobody wants to wind up with a broken hip. Everybody knows you're taught to never put your head down in a tackle. All right, worst thing you could ever do. Everybody's taught that. You practice it and stuff. So you're right. Nobody.
And even then, it's not like you have guys hitting with the crown of the helmet. They just face mask to face mask or so on. It's like you said. It's not like they have bad form and so on. It's just the actual contact. Or when you see the game live or when you see it on TV and so on, the first play on how fast it happens, it always looks so bad. It's like, oh my God! But then when you see the replay on TV, it's like, here's what he did. Like, what are we doing? How are you ejecting this guy in the first half of the next game? This is college. They're not getting paid for this.
Right.
What is going on?
Right.
You can't find a guy or so on for doing something for just having fun.
Right.
I mean, and doing something that's not intentional.
Right. It's one thing if after the game's over and you lost and the guy who got the interception who won it is running around and you go clock him one, okay? Yeah, I think that's obviously intentional, okay? I mean, that guy should be tossed for 3 games, all right? But, you're right. Totally different. Totally different. It has to come down to intent. And I think if you can't show intent, if it doesn't fit, you got to quit. That's the way I look at it.
Wow.
You got to show the criminal intent, man. Come on. Let's play some football. It's a contact sport,
Well, that's what happened. Well, the funny part is, if you go back to it, Jimmy, I don't know how much you followed football maybe in the 70s and the 80s. I mean, it did get so heavy where you had people in the NFL. I don't know if you remember this, Skip, but I don't know if you remember, Lynn Swan was going to sue George Atkinson, man. It was actually battery. He was going to bring battery charges against you.
I'll tell you, those were some awesome hits back then.
Game.
That's all we have left is good memories of good hits from back in the day.
Well, and how they would turn the game around. I mean, because even if you look at Jack Tatum, who I still think the stuff that we probably saw in NFL films, Jack Tatum hits Earl Campbell and breaks one of his ribs, and like Jimmy said, but they didn't knock each other out. Yeah. He broke his rib, but hey, that's probably why he didn't make it past 60 years old because of all those hits. Man, who knows?
Never know. And it does make a difference in the game because, one of the reasons we won a national championship is because Eddie Johnson was coming and Ray Isom were clocking these guys coming across the middle. They got the happy feet and they started looking and started missing the ball because they're worried about who's going to clock them.
He clocked Michael Irvin, and Michael Irvin can say whatever he wants. Now, he thinks he got his first concussion with the Eagles. He got his first concussion when Ice hit him. And you go back, and guess what? Like Jimmy said, they knocked each other out. I mean, it was a great hit. And Ice got up later, too. But, that's why I'm saying, hey, there's going to be situations. The defenseless receiver, I understand it. I get it. But when you see a quarterback that is going to run you over, especially if you have a 260-pound quarterback, what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to have to hit that dude with everything you already have, or everybody says they're going to go for the legs. If you go for the legs, it's a bad shot because you're hitting the guy's knee.
Yeah, you're taking him out.
Come on, man.
Yeah, yep. That's
so who knows? I know in the pocket. Now, Jimmy, did anything change? I mean, in the NFL, right, the first shot couldn't be on the head or the knees of the quarterback, or did that change?
So all that changed. It's like quarterbacks are now like a pitcher's box. You can't hit them high, you can't hit them low. Whether you fall on them or not, and that's I think that low tackling thing came in when Tom Brady got hurt.
Right.
Yeah, you got to hit on the numbers, on the waist, or so on. It has to be a certain way. You can't just run the guy and catch the guy by his feet or anything like that.
Right. Now, what about now? Of course, this is part of the technique in football. When I'm going against a big, powerful guy like Jimmy Kennedy, man, and maybe it's different. It's like, you're going to beat me so many times. Well, guess what? I'm just going to cut you. So, how much did that change, or is that just part of football? I know about the illegal chop block, but what about cutting? Should there be some restriction on me cutting you so you don't come as hard?
It's crazy. If I'm coming at you, and you cut me, and I fall to the quarterback's ankles or something like that, or his low calf, shins, or so on, I get the fine. I mean, I get the fine. I get the penalty and everything else or so on. They're not trying to hear that you fell or so on into the guy. So unless it's like, I guess it has to be like simultaneously. You have to hit a guy, and it's all of a sudden like you take your offensive guy, he's like pushed you into him a certain way. It has to be clear that wasn't your intention. If it looks like you can gain your balance, stand up, and hit him the proper way, you're getting a fine.
Wow.
Right.
You're getting the flag.
Wow.
So you're at a disadvantage regardless of what I do. And I might even unnecessarily cut you because the way I see it is, if the ball is off, there's no reason for me to cut you. This is the only thing that I see that some of the linemen are doing. And that's what I used to say. You get beat, cut him. I say I do it quick to get your hands down. You know what I mean? I do it quick. I might come off a block and I see a linebacker and on a sweep. You know what I'm going to do? I can't get to him fully, so I'm going to chop his outside leg.
Here's the reality. When I look at it, this dude, I think about is Tom Brady needs more valuables than mine.
Exactly.
Just like what you're talking about. If I got cut blocked and flew my ACL out or something like that, the rules ain't gonna change.
Nope.
And I'm not even speaking of me. Let's turn back time and so on and say it's a Warren Sapp. Let's say it's a Leroy Glover, a big time defensive tackle, a big time linebacker, and so on. Let's say it's LeVar or somebody when he played with the Skins or something like that. The game isn't going to change. They're not going to say offensive linemen can't block. But what happened was, back in the day, when you watched in the 70s and the 80s and early 90s and so on, it was a defensive game. Ray Lewis and those guys, they went out and we always said defense wins championships. What happened was the Rams came out there, they made it look cute, and it was the fastest team on turf, and they were scoring point after point and point and so on, and the fans started going crazy. They wanted to see the points being scored and so on, then the polls and stuff shot up and so on, and then it switched, and it slowly became an offensive game.
Wow.
Right.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah, you're right. That's where we are. And I'll tell you where we are right now. We got to do our picks, guys. We're down to our last 10 minutes. Fastest hour of college football. So I got our sheet here.
That was a good discussion. Let it roll.
Yeah, I was enjoying that.
It was all good. So let's roll down through here. In the last few minutes here, we got New Mexico and Rutgers.
God. I just am not feeling Rutgers, man. I'm sorry. Look, they beat Howard 51-14. But why would you even be down 14-0 to Howard, man? Come on.
You really think New Mexico's going to? You're kidding me. Really? You're going New Mexico?
I'm going New Mexico. Rutgers is a bad football program right now. They really are.
Okay.
The game's at Rutgers, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Was
the last game at Rutgers for Howard?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, wow. I'm gonna go with Rutgers just because I don't know too much about New Mexico.
Yeah,
That's the only reason.
I'm with you on that one. Yaacov, who you picking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rutgers, but I like what Big Dude is saying though. I'm kind of partial to that too. So yeah, maybe a close one. Maybe a close one.
All right. Hey, we got North Dakota State and Iowa. Let me ask you: is anybody going to pick North Dakota State?
No.
Okay.
No. You know what I do? I pick them. They're a good FSC team. I pick them to score first, and that's it. So I pick Iowa.
Okay. Well, then we got Georgia State and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, anybody picking Georgia State? Okay, we're cross the boards on that one. Yeah, we got now. This one ought to be interesting here: Colorado and Michigan.
I got to go with the Wolverines, man.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
they're playing great ball.
Yeah, we're across the board on that one too. And here's one for you: Oregon and Nebraska.
Oregon.
Wow.
I guess I got to go with Oregon. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Oregon.
Nebraska will probably play a good football game. It just won't be good enough.
Okay.
No,
at least in the first half they will anyway.
I don't think so. I think the game's over by halftime.
Wow. Okay. So everybody's on board with Oregon.
I'll stick with Oregon. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's on board with Oregon. That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this one could be a little bit closer, I think, because remember last week what happened to the Illini, Western Michigan and Illinois.
I have to take. I think they come Levy and them come back, man. Again, they'll struggle, but I think they'll win this football game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Illinois.
Yeah, I see Lovey killing those boys right now and going over stuff. And if anything, I know the defense is gonna be tighter, giving up all those points.
Sure.
They're gonna be tighter. I see them trying not to let a team get more than 14 to 17 points. So I think they'll pull it off.
Okay.
Yeah, especially Hardy Nickerson's kid in there playing for his pops, man. He better get it right.
Well, there you go.
Better get it right.
Okay, you know that
Jimmy, didn't you go against Lovey?
When against Lovey?
At Minnesota.
Nah, he drafted me to the Rams.
Oh.
Yeah, Lovey drafted me to the Rams, and then I left the Rams and I played with him for a year in Chicago.
that's cool. That's great.
Okay.
That's a connection. That's a
Yeah,
connection.
that's right. I knew. I felt like it was something. Okay, yeah, no,
He was a defensive coordinator when I got there.
Wow. Hey,
Okay.
well, next up we have this one could be interesting too. Maryland and UCF.
Ooh.
UCF didn't do so bad this weekend.
Well, I'm picking them. That's who I pick. I'm going to UCF.
I'm going to stick with the Terps, man. I mean, I don't really want
I'm gonna go with Maryland.
Okay.
Hold on, let me think about it real quick, fellas.
I mean, it is a tough. I can see it going the other way too, but.
Hey, Skip, the game is in Maryland?
I'm looking at it. It doesn't. Oh wait, where is it?
Usually the second team mentioned is where the game is.
Oh yeah, it's at Big House Network Stadium. Where is that? That must be. I think it's at UCF.
Okay.
So
I don't know, Big Dude. I might have to go see you.
Go for it, man. That's what's good about this show, man. You got to take chances, man. Come on.
I'm going out on a limb with UCF.
Yeah, I think UCF's going to get this one.
You with me on that one, Jimmy? Okay. And Yaacov,
I'm with you on that one.
Yaacov,
that'd be a great pick.
Look, you're gonna have me hang up. Well, a couple of my teammates from the Rams and stuff, coach out there. I'm about to send some text messages.
Okay.
There you go.
Better get it done, man.
Yeah, Yaacov.
So we can get Jimmy a salad, man.
That's right. There we go. So Yaacov, who are you picking on that?
You talking about the Rutgers one or what's one?
Maryland, UCF.
Maryland, one. Yeah, Maryland. Yeah, I was with Big Dude.
Okay, gotcha. All right, now here's going to be another good one after that is Michigan State, Notre Dame.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame is playing. I mean, I know they lost, and I think they're going to go on a roll. I think that first loss is going to. I don't think Michigan State is the same Michigan State team as last year. They're good, but I think the quarterback. I think that Notre Dame has their quarterback as their leader. Michigan State probably will play well. I just don't think well enough.
Okay.
I mean, up to the Big Ten and all that, but that's it.
I'm gonna go with Notre Dame too. I'm with you on that, big dude. I feel like Notre Dame could get this one.
Okay, why?
I think it's always gonna be a good battle, though. I definitely know that coach is.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a hard hitting game.
It's the same coach, even though the personnel isn't the same. But
Jimmy,
that's true.
What do you got, Jimmy?
I'm going to have to go with Notre Dame. I think the Golden Dome is going to get it done. The first game, they played Texas, right? That was a great game. That was a great game, good battle and so on. Then they bounced back well and they won last game versus Nevada and so on. So I think they're going to keep it rolling right now.
Well, I'm going on a limb here, man. Just because I can't stand Notre Dame so much, I'm picking Michigan State.
Yeah, you just like buying food. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's all right. It's every penny's well spent against these guys.
Oh my Lord!
There we go. We got Ohio State and Oklahoma.
Wow. I just don't think. I think Ohio State is playing real well, but I can see them being a suspect though. I mean, Oklahoma losing their first. I think this is when we find out about Ohio State. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with the Sooners on this one.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Sooners. I think they're underestimated. I think that the game they lost. People think their season's over. Their season is not over. They have a lot to lose. I think they have more to lose than Ohio State if they lose. That's why I'm going to go. I think their quarterback is the key. And for some reason.
Okay, I got you. I'll tell you what, guys. In about less than a minute, I'm going to take a break here for station ID. We'll bounce back and finish this up here. Let's finish up Ohio and Oklahoma quick here. Jimmy, who you picking?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I think Oklahoma, what they put up 59 last game versus Louisiana Monroe, 59-17, and Ohio State versus Tulsa was 48-3. I'm gonna go with Ohio State on this.
Oh, okay.
Only because I'm only doing it because of Coach Johnson. So I think I heard a speech of him talking about stepping off the edge, jumping off the cliff with his guys. So I think he's gonna do a great job.
All right, Yaacov?
Yes, I'm with Ohio State.
I'm with you guys too on that one. I got Ohio for that one for sure.
And I think the Baker Mayfield will prevail.
Hey, stand by for station ID, guys.
Bringing the local news and issues important to you on a daily basis. Center County This Morning, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. and only here on 970 a.m. WBLF, Bellefonte State College.
And we're back here, Lions Live here for our brief station ID. Thank you for joining us. The only network built by the players to the fans. We're not a podcast. This show is not pre-recorded. So thank you all for joining us here. Big Dude, Stephen Davis, Yaacov Israel, the Grizz, Jimmy Kenny. My name's Skip Brown. We're here doing some picks here tonight. We just came off the Ohio State pick, and Big Dude's the only one that came up with Oklahoma. The rest of us came in with Ohio. And next, this one could be interesting too because Northwestern's lost last week. Duke, Northwestern.
Oof. Oh my goodness! I want to answer first on this one.
I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick Duke. I'm going with the Blue Devils. I'm going Duke.
Wow.
Northwestern is just not playing good football. Okay,
they're good.
They're not there, and I think the Blue Devils are gonna come back or just come down there, and it's just gonna not be a good year for Northwestern, and that's why I went with them.
I think I'm gonna go with you. I just checked out the scores and to see that I didn't pay attention to the last game with Northwestern.
Well, they lost to Illinois State 9-7. Yeah, I mean, come on,
9-7 to Illinois State.
Yeah,
Duke's and then Duke lost to Wake Forest though.
Yeah, Wake's pretty good though. Yeah, but Wake's pretty good. So that's why I went with Duke. You with me in that one? Jimmy,
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on that one. Yeah, I'm with you.
Can I talk to anybody else?
Well, I tell you what, I have to believe that Northwestern has to get a game somewhere. If they don't win this week, I mean, again, I think this is the game where something weird happens and they win. It has nothing to do with how well they're playing.
Okay.
They're not. I'm going to stick with Northwestern because I just think they're going to pull the football game out.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. Yaacov, it's down to you. Yaacov?
Dum.
Oh, I'm there. I'm sorry. I had the button on. I was talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, we don't mean to interrupt you.
Yo, I can't wait to meet these cats, man. Yo, these cats are a trip, man. Y'all are an absolute trip. Oh my goodness. Man.
The whole team is definitely a tough call for me because I know they did lose to the Illinois State, but I definitely know that was definitely a big game for Illinois State, and that was probably their Super Bowl game because they're both, not too far away from each other.
Sounds like they won the Super Bowl then.
Yeah.
Get them boys some rings.
Hey, yo, and this is with no grog.
Their season is made, man. They're going to start getting some recruits just for that game.
Oh, yeah. Which team?
Hey, you got to be able to get into Northwestern.
Hey, Yaacov, I say you should go with Duke because if Northwestern lose all of them, then they still ain't going to get no recruits.
That's right. That's right.
It's going to be terrible anyway. It's like,
man. I hate to do it, man, but I'm going to have to go with Duke, man. I'm going to have to go with Duke.
Okay. Big dude's on the edge here.
I'm not getting the good drift out there. I'm not getting the good drifts about the team right now. So
okay.
Hey, Northwestern has one of the best linebackers in the country. I can't remember his name. Anthony.
Fitzgerald.
I think he's gonna make the difference. So we'll see.
We'll find out.
I don't think so. He makes a difference versus Illinois State.
He did not. He absolutely did not. And again, he absolutely did not. He absolutely. But he has been big and then beat Penn State.
No, I'm not hating because they could have won by 3 field goals, but they won.
Oh, there we go.
They could have pitched the shutout.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's a pretty ugly football game.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, guys, we're down to our last couple minutes here, so we got Penn State Temple, and I guess the best way to ask it: who's actually going to pick Temple?
Not me.
I'm not picking.
I can't do
like
it.
It's
going to be a close game, but I
don't think the game is close.
No?
I don't think it's close. It's home game. It's the confidence is up. Yeah, I don't think it's close. They beat us last year, so on. Yeah, I think. Oh no, it's not close. I say Penn State by at least 2 touchdowns.
Wow. Okay. I'll put you down plus 14.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 31. I think the defense plays a better game this game. They might give up. I would say the defense gives up maybe 30. I want to say 31-16.
Okay. Yaacov, what's your call, Yaacov?
Wow. And that's a late touchdown.
I definitely am with Penn State. I do. I guess my biggest concern with Temple is probably more offensively.
Right.
They do have a versatile offense, and they did show some power. Obviously, their opponent wasn't the greatest, but I believe it was Stony Brook. But, they do want to run some power game, and that probably would be a little concern. But other than that, I feel like Penn State definitely is way ahead. I feel like they're ahead. I would say it more than the score.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Armstead is a really, he's from our area, got a rep. He's from Millville. He's 6-7 miles from here. He's a good running back. But when they played against Army, they got crushed and they quit in that Army game. They quit.
Yeah.
Against, And the people that quit were the tackles. The edge rushers just destroyed Temple. I think there were 3 or 4 strip fumbles, sacks, fumbles. And again, Howard, it's a game that just did not help them get better, I don't think. It may have helped their confidence, but you can't just have confidence. You got to get better. And I don't think that game helped them. Yeah.
I think, me personally, I know, like you said, Temple have a decent offense and so on. They run the power game and so on. I just don't see them running the power game down Penn State's throat for 4 quarters. I think they're going to score. Yeah, I think they score, but I think our linebackers and so on step up and they play well. And I've been 2 games under the defensive line belt, and confidence being built from what they did on the comeback and so on. I think Pittsburgh was well balanced, between throwing and running and so on. I think it was well balanced. So I think they're going to go out there and I don't see Temple getting more than 14. I want to say 10, but I'm giving them 3 extra points, 4 extra points just because of, how them running the ball. But I say it's at least 27, 31, 27 or 31 Penn State put up to Temple's 14 or less.
Okay, that's pretty close. I have a 28-21. 28-21.
That close?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. I think just because the run.
That close at Penn State. I don't see it being that close at Penn State.
I hope not. I think it could be 31. 31-21, maybe 10 point, but I think it'll be just 1 touchdown.
And I'm going to add this. I'm going to say that Barkley runs for 150.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think that's the difference maker.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
right.
good.
Temple had Temple's defense last year. We saw was amongst the best in the nation last year, and you had to give it to them. Played like people Notre Dame to the end, and there was a point. And I was at that game. We not only just didn't have the depth, we didn't respond well to a lot of things Temple did. I was 6 rows from the field. There was a little confusion. There was arguing, and there wasn't. Well, I won't. Like I said, Jimmy got on me about getting on people, but so I won't get on certain people.
Fine.
There was not certain good leadership from certain people, and there's certain people who aren't there. So,
right.
And I'll leave it at that. And I think this year we have a quarterback who's not only resilient, I think he's going to start the football game off better. Now, on the left side of the line, we've got to get better. That's not it. We just simply have to, and again, I didn't mention any names. I just said the left side of the line. Figure it out. I think what we need to do this week is hopefully we get a chance to spell a few of those guys to keep the competition going. Because I think we need to keep it going. We can't get people too comfortable in the position that they're in. So hopefully the competition continues to go. So I think running the football is our strength, and I don't think that Tyler Medikevich that they had last year and all those guys on Temple, they're in the NFL. And Temple once every 6-7 years will have a defense like that, and that's it.
Well said, Stephen. Well said. Well, gentlemen, it's a fast hour of college football. It's always a blast. It's always a lot of fun. I can't thank everybody enough for joining us. Dan the Fan, I had to sign off a little bit earlier. We're maybe hoping to get some of his picks, but we'll get him back on here again. So I think you missed Dan the Fan, Stan, but he'll be up this weekend, and I think he said for the Ohio State game for a reunion. So I look forward to being able to see him. So
Dan the Fan,
he's great. I love the guy. So hey, we got to sign off. So it's been another great week of college football. It'll be a great week ahead here for Penn State, trusting for a big win. And thank everybody out there for joining us, those listening on radio and those online at lionslive.com. On behalf of Big Dude Stephen Davis, Yaacov Yisrael, and the Grizz, Jimmy Kenny, my name's Skip Dreibelbis. Thanks for joining us on Lions Live. We'll see you. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you actually for a special broadcast here on Friday. Don't forget, folks, 5 to 7, the Giant and State College live broadcast Friday, 5 to 7. Join us online, streaming, and local radio, actually syndicated throughout Pennsylvania. So pick us up as you're traveling to the game. Safe travels, everybody. Lord bless, and we'll catch you then. Have a good night.
Peace, y'all.
That's it. He gets treatment quicker than veterans at the VA. Bradley Manning is getting treatment faster than my World War II veteran grandfather, who only needed a hearing aid. And he was denied a hearing aid by the VA after he was on the USS Alabama and shot his eardrums to ribbons